Virgo, this is your 2025 yearly reading. Let's just get into it. So I have at the bottom of the decks that I used the letter and the Lenormand, which is about messages, written, verbal, any kind of documentation, contract, paperwork. And then I have for the tarot the Page of Cups, which is about flirting and offering up of good spirit, kindness, generosity, just trying to show affection, you know, like an attempt at showing affection. It can sometimes mean a younger person or a young child. It can also mean friendship. So or a kind of newer, more youthful love offer of some kind. So lots of messages. Could be flirty in nature, could be about children if you have children or if you work with children, or I do see that there's some sort of commitments to the family, like paperwork, documents. This could be about getting a home as well. Something about the family. And yeah, there's also the maturing of somebody. They're becoming more nurturing, or it's about a mother and a child situation and standing your ground about something that you're realizing in order to, in your cards underneath that. So the Hermit, but the Hermit's in reverse. So it's about, like, instead of going within, it's really looking outside of yourself and gaining clarity about a situation that's external to you in some sort of way. It can also be about needing to see the bigger picture in something. Get less microscope focused. I know that as a Virgo, darker, heavier placements that I have in Virgo, it can be really hard to get like your eyes off the magnifying glass about stuff. So, all right, so we'll just keep going here. First placement, you in the year. You're charming. You are kind of, I don't know, there's something here. I always see this card. It can be about deception. Of course, my camera's frozen already. It can be about deception, but that's not really what I'm getting. I feel like you're avoiding something, avoiding some sort of, with this Four of Cups here, it's being dissatisfied in the upright, like not really. I mean, if I look at it like the Three of Cups, because you do have the Three of Cups twice here, I see you like not wanting to look at something in a certain way, avoiding dealing with something emotionally. Like, it could be that you have accepted some status quo about something, or you finally do accept that things are the way they are. There's some sort of toxicity though with the Snake card usually, and so maybe you're accepting some sort of fear, or it's really kind of something I've never seen before. The Divine is offering this guy in the Four of Cups something that he may be missing, or he's not satisfied with something, and he's kind of bored, you know? And maybe it's a realization that there's more to a situation than you realize, or you initially realized. And there being something there that's either surprising and a kind of a shocking way, almost like a little shock value, or it's something about you kind of accepting fears and kind of understanding that you're going to move forward with this situation anyway. Because the crossing, what's helping or hurting you, you have the child. and you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is about that lack, you know, feeling lack, thinking that you don't have enough, but there's also not realizing that there's something being offered to you or available to you to help you in a situation. So you're accepting help with something you've been afraid to accept help with during the year 2025, which is allowing some sort of new start or new beginning for you. It's like breaking through something that had been very challenging. What you're aware of. You're aware that there's something to do with a relationship of some kind. It could be romantic. I'm trying to generalize it for now. There's something here about compassion and not commitment, but like your passions. So, and also another card about new beginnings. There's a lot of new beginning energy and youthful energy here. So you're starting to be passionate again about some new beginning because something that is being offered up to you. There's this new opportunity, this new beginning with something that you're very emotionally connected to, that you resonate with very well. Could be a relationship, like I said. It could be even school related or education related. But yeah, there's something here that you're aware that there's something starting that you're really loving, something new, something that brings you passion and love and joy of some kind. So now, what you're not aware of is that some kind of action or movement having to do with an individual could involve three people, could involve friends, will be happening soon. Someone will be making an effort. Someone will be showing you that they care or that they want to celebrate with you or share in an emotional experience with you of some kind. It could have to do with some sort of stability because of where it's placed. Something like for example, a friend wants to offer to have you live with them, or three people are getting together, and you're to have an apartment or a living situation. You're the fourth that gets added to the mix, or you're offered to get added to the mix. So, yeah. This could also have to do with this gentleman here. I don't know if this person would be significant to you in terms of a relationship. If it's something that you're unaware of, not talking about the astrology side of it, it could be that somebody's offering something to you, but you see them as a friend, or vice versa. And then moving into the near past, we've got that Three of Cups again, and we've got the book. And I feel like the book is about, it could be about education, school, literally a packet of paperwork. It's so close to the snake. So the snake is in the book, I find to be kind of It's about secrets and deception with the snake and the book close to each other. You could have felt in the near past that somebody in your inner circle betrayed you. This would have already happened. There also could be somebody in your group activities. You might belong to like a reading group or some sort of even schooling. Like I said, maybe you're starting school and this is like your friend circle at school where you have like a group that meets up to do something that is extracurricular in some sort of way. There's something here about a girl with brown hair and glasses maybe that is a part of this circle that you read with, or you learn with, or you're sharing an experience that has to do with learning of some kind. if this is a romantic relationship from the past, I see you were like secretly wanting more, but it was just a friend's situation. You were friended, or and you might have lied to this person about how you really felt about a situation, because you didn't think it would be anything more than what it was showing up to be in the near past. If you've been feeling left out of some kind of group setting or some sort of relationship during this year, there may come a point where you just now are, or you will be quietly moving forward. It may have, you might be afraid of the change. You might be feeling like you're not going to have enough, and with this new start or something. But it seems like everything gets much better after that initial, like, the fears. It's like letting go of fears of being alone, the fear of, you might be leaving a friend group, for example, and or making, trying to make new friends and leaving, the past behind. And or maybe you just graduated not that long ago from school, and now this is about you starting a new chapter of your life. I can see that being more fitting. Yeah, so near future, not wanting to be too impulsive because you're afraid that there'll be some challenge up ahead that you won't see coming, or that you'll rush into some sort of brick wall of some kind, with some sort of business, business moves, some sort of financial decisions. This can just be about traveling and passion, like even commuting. Like maybe you feel like you don't have because the Knight of Wands is about impulsivity, rushing into something that you're very passionate, you're high energy. They don't the knight doesn't always this knight doesn't always follow through and last very long. So he's got like this kind of catalyst, and then he runs out of steam. So maybe you're afraid you're going to run out of steam with something, or something is going to be challenged or blocked off, and you're not going to be able to keep going ahead, or there's something here about avoiding some sort of obstacles or challenges, or feeling like you don't even want to try to start something because you're not sure of what's out there, what difficulties lie out there. But I feel like you still do. I think you're traveling into unfamiliar territory, and I like that it ends on the ship, because that's at least like that iceberg is behind, it's past it. So there's something here about movement forward. It could have to do with business, money, jobs, etc. What your advice is to stop trying so hard, and to get in touch with your spirituality, release any burdens or hangups that you have with being out in the public eye. Maybe there's some sort of challenge or burden about maybe not wanting to be seen, being shy. I feel like it's about being shy. Because the Queen of Rods is not shy. She's not, and she's in the reverse here. So I feel like you're kind of feeling burdened about being shy, but it's saying to bear it, to just push through it, carry that cross, and make it happen anyway. What others are seeing about your situation? They're not really talking too much. I think maybe they think that you're... I mean, the Knight of Swords can be like being brash, not thinking things through, saying what's on your mind, doing something before you think about it clearly, taking action on what you're thinking very quickly. But they think that you're not making decisions, that you're being stubborn in terms of movement forward. And this is what they're thinking, so it's not like what you are actually doing or how you're feeling about it. This is just other people. But they see there being a solution. I just feel like they think you're being argumentative about the solution, or you're withdrawing from communicating about the, and working through or taking action on us and to get a solution or to get the help that you need in some sort of way. What are your hopes and your fears for the situation? We already said that you were afraid of something in the beginning, afraid of being alone, afraid of not having enough money, afraid of dealing with deception or secrets of a friend group or a love relationship that has questionable intentions. But there is this struggles, anything that you've been carrying for a long time, with spiritual truths. It's as if you're about to reach some sort of milestone in terms of your spiritual beliefs, what you value. This can also be about graduation, like I said, because of just this progression here. I see that there's some sort of finishing school, graduation coming into play. Yeah, but this is like releasing your burdens to a higher power. It can be also about talking about this with a spiritual mentor of some kind. The lilies is about career, so it could be about, you felt like it's been a lot of trouble to get to the point of, because the Hierophant, he dubs people, right? He's like, well, now you've passed this test, so you are part of this order or this. You have to meet the standards of that patriarchal kind of mentality, that concept of, have you met the standards that we require for you to be considered this in, at large. And so it seems like it's been a real journey for you to meet other people's standards or expectations in some sort of way. It could have to do with career, because a lily can be a career card. This can also be about your hopes and your dreams. So maybe you wanted to start your own business, but there's been a lot of red tape, so to speak, or even graduating from school. I would think there's just all these criteria that you have to meet. Give me 1 second. I also think that this is just you coming to terms with your journey and finding your own spiritual truth within the context of some sort of setting or some sort of religious upbringing even. The Ten of Wands is like struggle, and then the Lilies is also peace. So there's this passing of this milestone this year that your life will be moving out of struggle and into peace, or that is at least what you're hoping for. Now, let's see. Final outcome. It's almost as if you can't see where you're going. You can't see exactly what you're doing even. But you know that you're trying to create balance in a situation that has, in your life in 2025, that hasn't been the most clear, that hasn't been the most easy. There's been a lot of challenges, fights with friends or people that you were trusting about money or new beginnings having to do with something tangible. There could have been there's a lot of work that has gone into something, back-breaking labor, sweat, blood, tears. I don't know, I get like a storm cloud, and with the whip is like lightning, the crack of that. Like, it's been kind of tumultuous, and you've just been trying to keep the balance within that without being able to see in front of your face. It's like driving while you're in a torrential downpour, like storm, right? And there's thunder and there's lightning, and you're like going as slow, as steady as you can, trying to make it home, right? I feel like this year you end up realizing you find your place. You find your place in the world. Like, maybe it's in a business or an organization that you work for. Maybe it's in a spiritual organization that you want to be a part of. There's something here about coming out of a dark and stormy time, having to do with, trusting that you're going to be okay and secure financially, because there's this new beginning coming in with finances and even romantic love. It could be that you just find a new thing to love in your life. You find some new hope, something that inspires you, you can emotionally connect with. And we have that Temperance there. That's about healing, alchemizing the emotions with the practical world, like trying to make sure everything continues to flow and grow. But then we have the Star at that final placement, and it's in reverse. So maybe it's not exactly what you were hoping for or wishing for, but there is still a dream come true in some sort of way. There is some sort of reaching new heights. There is emotional healing, spiritual healing here. And also that Tower card in the Lenormand's about being alone. But I don't know, it's right next to the dog. So it can be about being able to self-amuse in some sort of way, or trust yourself. I feel like it's more trusting yourself about your decisions. Maybe in the past there was some toxicity or confusion for you where you relied on the information of others, and you won't be doing that as much anymore. You'll be trusting yourself more and going with what feels right to you. And that this is what that could be about, these underlying cards with the Page of Cups, and then the Queen of Cups underneath that being your psychic intuition. I feel like you're going to be kind of blossoming in terms of your intuitive abilities, and how that helps you start new things, new passions, that following that hunch that leads you to better things. All right, so let's go through again and do it house by house. First house with the Four of Cups. and the snake. Something that you used to do that wasn't that good for you, you actually may be dropping this year. It could be smoking, drinking, anything like that. Anything that was something that once brought you some satisfaction, you might be being like, I'm over that. I'm not really into that anymore. Or you might be accepting that somebody has been toxic in your life, or something that you've been doing has been toxic, and moving away from that. There might have also been something that you were fearful about, like in terms of who you were as a person, what you were accepting about yourself, or maybe it's like what you were or weren't accepting about yourself. And I see you kind of, the snake is about evading or kind of quietly moving away from something. So maybe you're being able to move on from something that you might have been dissatisfied with about yourself, and accepting certain things about yourself that maybe it's a darker aspect, like a shadow work type realization, or some kind of understanding your own darkness, loving the more uncomfortable parts of yourself, I should say. Resources. You may have some sort of financial troubles, or might be going through that right now, or feeling like you're going to be going through that, but there is some sort of new beginning here. There's a new start to resources, money, skills that you have. You might also have the ability to, because the Five of Pentacles is like a card of like sick and downtrodden people walking with like bandages on, and they're kind of messed up, they're outside, it's cold, and then the Child card's got, I mean, I read the cards how I read the cards. It's not always like as traditional as it should be, but she's outside playing and she's kicking a ball, and usually this guy is depicted with a crutch. Yeah, he's got a crutch right there. So there's something here about, I just noticed she was playing with some sort of hoop or something. You might find that you're really good, and I also noticed he's crying. I didn't know he was crying, and she's crying too. So I don't know. This is also your beliefs. I think you're starting to believe in yourself and your ability, your skills, that you aren't going to be in a difficult situation for much longer, in terms of your resources, your skills, your talents, your abilities. Maybe that was instilled in you as a child, and you're healing that inner child. I feel like maybe in the past you were bullied at school or something, because I have that snake card in the book, and then the Three of Cups there. There's something here about like self-worth, starting to value yourself in a whole new way after feeling beaten up, really having gone through something not so great. And that's going to improve your financial situation in 2025, Virgo. So what else can I find? How you're thinking, like communication. So you'd be talking to some new lovers maybe during 2025. I have the Ace of Cups, that Heart card, and the Fool. Maybe taking emotionally risky gambles on love, I don't know, or thinking about it at least. communicating about starting something new with a lover, or yeah. You might be a little head over heels for somebody and feeling a little goofy or silly. Hmm. I'm trying to think of like, there could be something exciting that happens in terms of your cousins, siblings, local neighborhood, where you meet love, or somebody tells you that they've started dating somebody new. Could be a neighbor even. Home and family. Gestures from a man that like an offer to have a party of some kind, or a celebration for this man or by this man. Um, could be an invitation that you're receiving this year to a friend's home to have a gathering, socialize. Um, you could learn something new at this party, or meet somebody new that you end up being in a relationship with. Your romantic life, like I said, it's a lot of social dating. It could be like a dating. I don't know. It's like a. If I had the star Lenormand card, I'd say it was like. It could be online dating. I see you dating a few people. Maybe a few people, going out with friends, going on dates with friends, taking people out in groups. Something here about lots of socializing that leads to romance, or vice versa. Um, in terms of your leisurely activity, stuff that you like to do, I do see somebody like joining a book club, or scrapbooking. Anything to do with groups of people getting together to share a common interest or a love for something. There's friendship, kinship involved, possibly some sort of craft projects, or learning something together. Um, Photo album making, playing cards as well. If you like to gamble or play cards, this is that, like a casino type situation. I don't see winning cards, so be careful with how much money you spend. But I do see people getting together, and there being cards on tables, and enjoying drinks together, and something like that. Near future. Sixth house of health. If you've had any nerve trouble at all, or energy, like ADHD, or something where you have a lot of energy and then you have nothing, or there's like an inability to get yourself going, maybe a lethargy of some kind. It could be an inability to concentrate as well, or to self-start. I see there being some sort of movement there, whether you go to see a doctor, or you change up your routine in some sort of way, and it helps a lot with the flow of things. obviously anything that I say is not medically valid. You have to talk to your professionals about that. But if I'm just reading the cards, is the way I see it is there could be something about movement being restricted, or the ability to kind of get started on something, or get the energy to get going on something, and you find something that kind of helps you to move yourself into some better mobility or smoother sailing in some sort of way. You might actually be swimming or are starting to go to the gym and swim for exercise. It's also frustration. I feel like the Knight of Wands in reverse is frustration, like really, really, really wanting to do something but not being able to do it. For whatever reason, there's some sort of challenge or block or something. So this could have to do with disability as well. And getting some sort of mechanism or gadget to help you cruise around or peruse around your daily life that will help you. Like maybe you have some sort of disability where you need something in your car, or you find it difficult to drive, but you end up getting some assistance with like ride sharing or something like that, where somebody can pick you up, a bus service of some kind. If you run your own business, I see you kind of throwing a party to help boost sales in some sort of way, especially if there's anything with like learning something involved, or just trying to get something down on paper for some reason. I feel like business might be slow. You might want to start something with your job, and you're being blocked because you haven't made it to a specific location yet, or you haven't reached some sort of financial goal yet. There might be travel for work as well, and you might be feeling restricted in some sort of way, like you're kind of frustrated about the commute with your new job that you get. Maybe you take a new job during this year and you just weren't really thrilled about taking it, but there's a little bit of desperation there to start something new and get some money flowing in, and the commute's just kind of annoying for a little bit, but then you get used to it. Like maybe you take a shortcut, maybe you take an alternative scenic route that like it makes it more enjoyable, less stressful. Your relationships. Feeling shy. I feel like you feel shy in some sort of way because that might be a burden for you. That might be a challenge for you. Virgos, they are the ones that I've met. Sometimes they're one way or another. I think I'm a Vedic Virgo, and we can be like real introverts, but many of us are ambiverts, and the ambiverts usually have a very they can be very social, they can be very out there, but they have to, I feel like I don't know, it just depends on the person, what else is going on in their life and their chart and stuff. But yeah, it's saying that like don't let that kind of get the betterment of you getting out there and making new relationships, or sacrificing attention as well. So somebody could be kind of an attention seeking individual that you are dating during this period of your life in 2025. So they also might be kind of modest in terms of like maybe they're spiritual and don't they don't like flashy things, or maybe they're insecure in some sort of way. Um, yeah, yeah, because the Queen of Wands really commands a room, and yeah, maybe it's just like balance with your approach to putting yourself out there, like how you come across to other people. um, Maybe trying a little harder to, and if you're a person that's more expressive and more loud and proud, then maybe, just finding balance with whatever that might help you in terms of your relationships, or creating fairness and diplomacy in relationships in some sort of way. You might also find that somebody that you wouldn't be typically attracted to um, has kind of latched onto you this year, or that you find that they are, I guess you're like sacrificing one aspect of somebody that is not what I shouldn't say sacrificing one aspect. I should say sacrificing your idealistic like approach to what you find attractive in somebody, so that you can, I don't know, you might feel very spiritually connected to somebody that maybe you feel doesn't see you in the same way, but they're showing up in the relationship house. So it could have to do with this situation, feeling like there's unrequited love, but due to a lack of attraction, or somebody also could be modest because they are of their spiritual beliefs. Like I think I said that already. I don't know. I'll have to like get back to that. Somebody also could just be like really obnoxious and kind of a burden because they're so intense and almost histrionic. Like, I need to be the center of attention all the time. Could be a friend as well, and that could be also very annoying if they're attention seeking and like is exuberant and overwhelming. I feel like that's what it is. Other people's resources and a heated debate that ends up being a solution. There's something here about like arguing with people about, or at least like putting down an argument. I don't know. The Knight of Swords in reverse can be wicked nasty, very violent. Very violent. But the answer seems to be dropping it. Like dropping the communication, not fighting, not your personal power, knowing that you can overcome a major change or challenge with somebody. You might see somebody lose their shit this year. And, that's like the house of crisis, right? Yeah, maybe preventing somebody who's access to some sort of resources of some kind causes some hostility. Like not wanting to share something with somebody. Could be a car, a house, anything like causes an argument with this person because they're being immature and not thinking clearly about a situation. It does seem to resolve itself because the key is about resolution, possibilities, doors opening to the future, So it doesn't seem like it's too bad, but it might be kind of ugly in the moment. This could also be about people wanting to share in on something that you have access to, that you are privy to, seeing you as an option for something, wanting to get in on your resources, and there being an argument about that because maybe they're not coming correct. I think that's what it is. They're not showing you the physical, they're not showing you they're trying to talk up a good game or they're arguing with you about it and you're like, but I don't see any improvement, so I don't think so. Whatever argument it is about whatever resources, taxes, shared bills, anything like that, there is some sort of resolution. There is a silver lining to it. This Jupiterian house, I can't help but feel like you may be helping somebody who's getting older, a father figure, somebody who is wiser, maybe a mentor of yours. Maybe they helped you in your career. Maybe they helped you in school. They could be a father, like I said, somebody who's aged, wizened, and got the crown. Maybe needing some sort of peace or assistance of some kind. You might be offering up help to this person, or they might be just coming. You might just be noticing that they are getting older. There's something here about a milestone of some kind. It could be like that birthday party I was talking about, or some sort of celebration with this person. They could have achieved something even in their older age. Achievement doesn't stop no matter how old we get. We just keep pushing further and further. A lot of the time we accomplish things we never thought we could, and at whatever age we thought we couldn't. So I feel like in the past they struggled and now they're kind of in a more peaceful place in life, and the keys are there. Something significant about spiritual initiation. There's something here about initiation, some kind of spiritual coming of age, meeting the mark, the other side cheering you on, about to cross the finish line, getting your flowers, getting your acknowledgement, having studied and prepared for something and put in the hard work, and then being acknowledged for that in some sort of way. Being seen as the master after putting in the work. There's some sort of evaluation here. It could be school. Like I said, there was a graduation vibe in the back there. It's a huge accomplishment, whatever it is, whether it's a physical, tangible thing or a spiritual thing. It could be also that if you're young enough, you're being confirmed, or Yeah, some sort of initiation, communion. I think that's much younger, but you might actually be involved with teaching catechism or something, or um, something about youth programs. I don't know, but there is somebody here who sees the struggles that you've gone through, and you're getting your flowers in terms of like your title. You have a title now. This can also be about a legal battle. You might not have felt like you were attractive enough for somebody or something, but I think that that's actually causing you a challenge in terms of your growth in your relationships. I'm sorry, I just kind of jumped back down, but yeah, there's something here about that. Like, this is a year of you accepting yourself, and any kind of limitations that you've put upon yourself or that you feel have been physically put upon you, you are learning to transcend those difficulties. And people or the divine is seeing this, and they are giving you acknowledgement for your achievements within the struggle of this. Now, in terms of your career, your reputation, you might be a bit confused about how to balance out what you emotionally feel in terms of your reputation, career, and what you can I don't know, there's something here about that being kind of depressing or challenging in some sort of way, because there's like emotions involved with it. There's something here about not being able to see how things are going to actually come together and work out. I think I did say that about something else too. Excuse me. Yeah, like not being able to see how you're going to go on a journey, not being able to see how you're going to make things work out financially in terms of business, being unable to maybe creatively blocked in some sort of way for an initial time. But the clouds are passing. There's something that's going to inspire you, become your muse, that's going to help you be able to get your creative juices flowing again, to be able to look at something in a different way or see something in a whole new light, and see how you can use what's around you to continue to grow whatever you've been working on. This can also be about some sort of project behind the scenes. I see like the clouds as like a curtain, almost like a veil. So this can be about stepping out on stage, but this is like behind the scenes with the temperance card, being patient about how long something takes, or not being able to see the end result about something as well. Like you're going into unfamiliar territory, and you're trying to make, I don't know, you're just trying to temper. There might be some patience involved with something. It might be maybe it's confusing. Maybe there's not enough like direction in terms of career. Like maybe you haven't quite found that recipe yet. This could also be about somebody who makes things, like works with mixing things together, cooking, because I just see like steam coming out of a pot with the Ace of Cups and this is the steam, and like she's mixing two different things together, trying to get something just right. So it could be like you find a new passion or love for cooking or anything to do with mixing various components together, using science even. Anything that has like a chemical reaction to it, or some sort of artistic expression of some kind that starts off kind of messy and muddled and becomes you work with it as you go to make something new. And with that whip and broom there, it could be painting, could be sponge painting, anything where you're placing something down and there's gradients of color or gradients of different variations and textures, and it's coming from kind of like an internal spiritual place, whatever you're doing. Like, not all of it is an exact science, although it could be. But I feel like with the clouds there, it's not. There's some kind of experimentation, experimenting with the unknown. There's dipping your foot in the water to see if you like it, if it's tolerable, if it's enjoyable, you know. There could be some sort of, like I said, argument over a new beginning with finances, or some sort of tangible new beginning with an associate about loyalty to do with money, trusting people with money. This is a recurring thing. So if it's a friend, it could be about dogs, just paying for somebody to board your animal, or maybe you walk dogs, because I see the whip and the snake is more of like a chain, right? Yeah, walking dogs, because it would be like something that you're doing for work that's repetitive, that has to do with an animal. Could be friends' dogs. You could be walking a friend's dog or babysitting a friend's dog and getting a little money this year. There's something here about the future even. So I don't know why I'm hearing this. I don't agree with this at all, but dog fighting as well is something that's coming up. I don't know why. It's just like a abusive recurring cycle that has to do with animals, or making a new beginning with a friend as well. You could be actually doing some kind of physical activity with a friend. This could be something like humanitarian, so like running a race, a marathon. There's a gold medal involved with that Ace of Pentacles. Ready, on your mark, get set, go type thing. Competing with somebody. This is like, it might be like, let me get my coffee. I'm running out of steam. Yeah, like a dog race. A dog championship. I don't know if that's something you're into, or you know that, what's that movie? Which, it's pretty funny, actually. Best in Show. I think that's what it's called. Something about, yeah, some kind of dog competition or training. Also, dog training. You could be making money doing that, or somebody around you is. And then, like, I see, like, biscuit, like, reward, tangible, something physical for the effort that has been, or the work that's been put in. This can be also about an argument within your circle of friends having to do with money. So, I don't know, just be careful with friends and money this year. Maybe you'll do some painting work for a friend, like help them out, or with their house or something. They get a new home and they give you some money. I don't know. You also could be very involved with, like, anti-animal abuse, humanitarian efforts, rescuing animals. You might start doing something like that this year. There are quite a bit of animals in this reading now that I think about it. This is also about investing in the future, and I have that Ace of Pentacles, and this is about loyalty, which is something you can count on. So, and it's recurring with the whip. It's like keep getting hit. So there's something here about, like, any investments that you might start investments. You might start an investing plan of some kind, or be getting some royalties on something, some sort of interest on something for the future, planning for your future. I think you're really restoring your faith in an organization of some kind, or you're restoring your faith in yourself. That is, like, really what this whole reading is about, is getting back to yourself, knowing your dark side, understanding yourself really well, restoring your faith, restoring your trust in your own self. And you're going to be feeling more connected to the divine. I think that's what's helping you. If anybody that you know is in need of some sort of healing assistance, I see that, like, them going to an institution of some kind. There's help here for them. You also may be doing something kind for somebody who feels lonely this year and keeping it a secret. This can also have to do with going somewhere up high, like, to view the stars. There's something here about being able to see things from a higher perspective. Could be like going to an observatory. I think I've said this in another reading. An observatory, something where you see stars, like a planetarium of some kind. There's some sort of trip here where you get to see things that are far away from up close. Another thing with the magnify glass. I did say, like, Virgos, we tend to like to look at things very oh no, when you know you're falling, when you know you're failing. No, it's like we obsess about the details, right? We can be obsessive about the details. The details are really important. But it's like the big picture is being brought to you. Like, you're able to see it closer. You're able to finally see the big picture like in condensed form in some sort of way. I don't know. You'll have to like look into it. I do have the World card at the bottom of that other deck that I used to clarify, the Three of Cups. So you might take a trip. You might see a new part of the world. You might astral travel to a new spot that you've never been before. It looks good, Virgo. I hope you have a really great 2025 and you had a great holiday season. And I'll see you soon.